Okay, then let's talk about title tags and meta descriptions because they're important. And we already talked about them a little with some of you guys, but we're going to talk about them again just to be like super specific. So title tags, if you're into coding and stuff, okay, you've got your HTML document, and you guys probably won't ever have to deal with the code, but if you really want to, actually, you could. I don't know. We could do that. Okay, so there's this tag called the head, and in the head there's like all kinds of little things that help your browser or search engines know what to do with the website. And one of those things is the title tag. So in the title tag, we put the information that tells people what is on that page, okay? And it tells the search engines what's on that page. So we have this text here, right? Title tags should be, you've got up to 70 characters to work with. And after that, it just gets cut off, right? So generally, you want to use as much of that as possible, right? We've got 70 characters to work with to really convince search engines that our page is worth looking at, right? So if you're writing a 20 or 30 character title tag, you're not using the full potential of that space, okay? So, I think you should be using, generally we kind of say you ought to be in the 58 to 64 character range, okay? That's, if you're hitting that every time, you're doing really well, okay? So in that area, we're going to put probably a keyword or two. And then, we'll put a hyphen and maybe put the company name or describe the product a little bit. But you want to always try to be putting things that people would be searching for, okay? We have a blanket company, and they have a blanket called the Luster Loft blanket. Nobody goes and searches for a Luster Loft blanket. Very few people search for a Luster Loft blanket. So that's not actually a very important thing to put in the title. You want to put a soft blanket. You want to put a throw blanket. You want to put a warm, cuddly winter day blanket. Okay, those are things people might be searching for. Buy blankets online. Cool. Maybe the company name because they've heard of the company. Great. But often a product name doesn't actually do you a lot of good. So be thinking that direction when you do title tags, okay? Think about what people are going to search for. And then again, the whole thing about being unique is always important. We want our titles to all be unique. So if you're doing 70 tags in one day and you're feeling super burnt out, that's okay. You might have to take a break. But the thing is, don't always do the same order. Maybe you're doing the keyword and kind of a different description of it, and then you're putting in the company name. Fine. Don't always put the company name at the end. Don't always put it at the beginning. Change it up as you go. Obviously, if you're writing 70 of them, it is hard to be unique, but you can do that, and you can put in as much variation as you possibly can so that Google knows you are taking time to do a really good job. Okay? So those are really important for search engines. And then meta tags also go in here, okay? And like I said before, the meta description is really just for the user, okay? When you do a search in Google, the thing that's the link that's kind of like the bolded title, that is this, so users will also see this. And then the text underneath the little description is the meta tag. Okay, meta tags, they need to be convincing. Okay, you got to convince the user that your content is good, that they should click on it. Okay, if they're looking a little deeper, you want to give them something useful to work with. You've got, depending on the search engine, between 130 and 160 characters, more or less. So we usually write, 120 to 140 characters. Okay, and again, unique is there, and that's hard. But we do it anyway, okay? And we be as creative as we can. And so meta tags are pretty straightforward because on the technical side of things, Google's not too worried about it. Really, you could be creative. You can say, hey, are you looking for such and such? Well, we've got the best one, whatever. You describe where the product is sold or where the service is at if you're trying to draw in a local group or whatever, okay? I miss anything?
We're going to have you writing titles and metas.
We're going to be writing titles and metas this week. So
yeah,
they're fun. And they're really important, though. They are incredibly important. And I said this the other day, but I'm going to say it again. You are all very smart. So, be smart, check your spelling, check your grammar, because our clients check those things. And not only do our clients check them, but users will read it, and the search engines will read it. And if we do a bad job, our clients end up kind of paying the price. So, be good at what you do, because you can be, and I have huge faith in you. Good? Okay, so every time you write an article, give it a title and a meta tag at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that too.
Nathan can write them all himself, but it just
But I
takes a
hate
lot
it
of his time, and
so
you
much.
already know the topic, so you'll do a great job at it. Okay?
So then these titles and minutes that you're gonna have us writing are for like pre-written articles or something?
These will be for products, for web pages, for each individual page
Uh-huh.
on a website. So they'll just be like in a spreadsheet, and you'll just like click on the link and see the product and
Come up
write
with the title and meta for
a
it.
title and meta for that page.
Got it.
So you always throw in a title and meta for your own articles, and then sometimes we'll have a spreadsheet of products, and we have you write a unique description, a title, and then a meta to go with it. So then we can just put it all up in one shot.
Gotcha.
Or we'll get a new client, we'll be like, hey, we need you to just go through and analyze their title tags. And so you just start clicking through the pages and you start looking at them, and you're like, yeah, they're actually pretty good, or oh my gosh, they're
They're really
horrible,
bad.
let's clean it up. And then we'll get everybody to help with it. Kind of thing. Yep.